Hello, guys and gals, me Moodahar. Oh man, dude, today's gonna be a wild video. What if I told you our buddy Marques Brownlee? You know, we talked about him fair bit of time, the last couple months. He's been involved in some wild stuff, talking about a company and possibly having them go bankrupt. By the way, unrelated to him, okay? You make a crappy product, it does not involve a bad review destroying your product, okay? Your product just sucks at that point. But it turns out that his videos, about 1,600 videos, might have been used without permission to train an actual AI video generator that, by the way, raised around $141 million, okay? Now, I'm gonna start off by saying this is unhinged, okay? We live in a world where I think there's a concerted effort by AI companies to just ruin any public perception that they possibly can have. Now, to give an idea, okay, Runway, which is this one company, building generative AI stuff for multimedia content creators, by the way, allegedly, raised $141 million, this is back in 2013, from Google, NVIDIA, and Salesforce primarily. Now, Google, who owns this platform you're watching the video on, also basically states, for the record, all right, access to the service using any automated means such as robots, botnets, or scrapers, except in the case of public search engines, is actually violative of YouTube's terms of services. So Google's subsidiary company that runs one of the largest video hosting sites in the world already says, dog, if you use programs like, YouTube downloading tools in order to download stuff off of our website, that's just not okay. Especially when you're using it to train your data on your AI tool that isn't even legally acquired. So how do people find out about this dog shit? Well, ladies and gentlemen, one actual publication known as 404 Media decided to do their own investigative journalism and found that through a leaked document obtained by them, the company Runway actually had allegedly collected thousands of YouTube videos and pirated a fuck ton of content, anime as well, in order to build their AI model. So if you go to Runway right now, you can see that the website, you can actually try it right now. The Gen 3 alpha is available, and it really does look like some interesting video like generative tools. Dude, literally it was this year that we were kind of coming for, looking at some of these cool tools. It went from Will Smith eating spaghetti in the most hilariously laughable manner to quite literally having video that resembles something that somebody could have actually shot and put up on YouTube. And again, you can build videos that would seem completely physically impossible, okay? Like for instance, this deer floating around in the world, okay? This is all done without CGI. This fire effect floating through a busy market, okay? This human being just riding through the subways. This hole to the center of the fucking earth opening up in the ocean. This frog that clearly cannot exist operating like that, okay? So if you actually go try this out, you can see that, yes, you can generate whatever it is that you want. This rock flying in. Imagine instead of hiring any company to shoot B-roll like this, you could just get an editor to type in a prompt, generate a video effect. Maybe it could be like 10 seconds long, put into your movie, television show, and save thousands upon thousands of dollars, okay? Insane stuff. And obviously for a lot of studios who are making films, documentaries, where again, that B-roll is very important, this is obviously something these AI companies really, really want to push for. Now look, regardless of whatever your personal stance is, you should be very fearful. There is no issue, in my opinion, if out of nowhere these companies decided to actually build and source this training data themselves, license it, and use it, right? That would be fine. That would be totally okay. But where it gets really freaky is obviously when they're just ripping videos off the internet. Now, especially for a YouTube enterprise where Marques Brownlee is big. Don't get me wrong, he's one of the largest tech channels on the internet. But he's also not somebody that's raising $141 million in Series C funding by some of the biggest tech companies in the world. So again, if you're a company like this that just yoinks videos off the internet to train your data and ultimately use that against him in the same market, that is very fucking unethical. So the document that people had ended up finding was right over here from, again, stuff that had to be redacted by 404 Media. They basically told you. So we're going to go over through this entire list right now just to basically see what their video sourcing look like, okay? So here they have a bunch of keywords that, according to 404 Media, were basically being used to, again, find certain videos and use them to help train, right? So for instance, some of the words involved things like 3D, obviously understandable, 3D animation, alien, animation, apocalypse, astronaut, cyberpunk, clearly, because I'm sure people were going to use that to make generated videos off of. You've got, again, pretty harmless things like the moon, laboratory, I guess Korea was pretty interesting, Korean, Hindi, gym, okay, gorilla, all right, and then you've got all the way down to like woman and zombie, okay, so pretty generic search field entries. So recommended channels that were found. So the recommended channels that were found, from what I understand, based on those exact keywords, were channels right here. So you got channels like Scenic Relaxation Films. You've got the Netflix channel. So it's not even just going right to fucking YouTubers. It's literally going... So obviously you go to like this one channel, Game Clips, and it's literally just clip footage of like big popular video games. So you got stuff like Suicide Squad, the Justice League, downloading the entire cutscene information for all these God of War games, especially one of the most newest ones right over here. Again, allegedly these are the channels that they're going at. And of course they've typed them out clearly. So one of the channels is all about vehicles, for instance, cars, beautiful cinematic landscapes, horror short films, so Watch Alter, which is actually something my wife actually showed me, this entire page. So these guys who are making short films, yeah, just like basically grab from them, allegedly, of course. So of course, MKBHD, where they found it, was right here, YouTube at MKBHD. And not just MKBHD, what about Austin Evans? Austin Evans, 2,029 videos all about technology. Yeah, his channel got absolutely fucking scraped, allegedly, for this situation, for, again, any of this. And what were they looking for in this situation? They were looking for, again, iPhone 15, assembling a computer. And again, even for Marques Brownlee, it was just iPhone 15 or iPhone 14. What did you do if you looked for using a laptop? Well, you decided to go all the way to CNET and then just rip off Linus Tech Tips. It really feels like a lot of the YouTube tech industry game is being absolutely shafted when it comes to some of these big tech guys. Now, of course, one company that I found that absolutely blew my mind away was all of Nintendo, bro. So yeah, Nintendo's entire channel got ripped, literally as they were looking for princesses. But they ended up finding Mario Princess Animations. Now, look, it's bad enough you're stealing from like YouTubers, but these guys, Nintendo, they've got fucking actual assassins, bro. They will hunt you down, all right? There's a reason why nobody messes around with Nintendo, and there's a good reason. So obviously they decided to scrape pretty much all of Nintendo and the various like channels they had. Allegedly, of course, right? Allegedly. So when you look at things like recommended keywords, for instance, or ad qualifiers when they're searching for YouTube, it's like they added extra things like Sony A7, 16mm, okay, animal welfare. So they started to expand the search, from what I understand in this situation. Obviously, they were trying to, from what I understand, even match up, if I had to guess, metadata that big YouTubers, vloggers, tech channels would also use as well. And of course, they also had specific sections. So for instance, if they were looking for high camera movement, like drone footage, for instance, they had specific channels allegedly picked out for this. POV shots, and again, going into things like YouTube hashtags, right? They had, again, they were looking for the trends on YouTube, allegedly, of course, based on cars, cinematics, music videos, food, outdoor recreation, whatever. Cinematic masterpieces from these various channels were brought in. For instance, Defy Studio. The holy grail of car cinematics so far. It's insane, dude. You go into these guys and it's like, it's this fucking 20K sub channel, all right, that's putting in really good quality content that's just fucking being scraped for no real reason. No licensing this, even after you've gotten over $100 million. Nope, just yoink and grab, allegedly, right from YouTube. Single great videos for fine-tuning the material. So for instance, what do you want to fine-tune? Imagine if you wanted to fine-tune like Resident Evil 2 Remake no HUD gameplay. What is this? What is this? Some guy, SHN Survival, you just straight up downloaded the gameplay video for RE2? Get out of here. Horse grooming. Why would you, what, like brushing horses through the AI? You have to go through 4 different videos how to groom a horse step by step? Thankfully, they didn't jump into that same feature, but for Minecraft YouTubers, I mean, come on now. And then what's even wilder is like non-YouTube sources too. Like this is where it's just straight up filthy. So instead of like, okay, so they got Xbox gaming clips. So, you know, if you ever uploaded clips onto the Xbox, like this unofficial website might have been used. And then you've got anime databases, like literally pirate websites straight up. I have to blur this, like Studio Ghibli movies. They've got actual like animated stuff. I'm sure any organization is going to be pissed looking at this. And of course, recommended channels not found over here were stuff right here too, where again, you can look through and see if your channel name, big or small, might have been dropped in here. Best videos over 1 hour long, they only found 3, safaris, gorillas, and primates. And of course, more queerable words as well too. Recommended playlists right over here. So again, their playlists were Bollywood, Goblins 2023 short films, whatever the hell that would. Okay, that's actually something right there. Cyberpunk animation loops, women, woman. What is the woman? Women of different salaries. Like, they're just really grabbing whatever they fucking need, bro, I guess. I like how this one, multicultural stuff. Here's some keywords which could have been varied content across different cultures. So things like music, movies, TV shows. Please exclude trailers, by the way. Cooking, traditional dance, Diwali. Okay, footage of Athens, cinematic HD. Yeah. So realistically, and again, allegedly, if this is true, this would only just be one facet of information they would grab off of the internet. Now, generally, I think a company like this, if this is true, should absolutely be boycotted and lambasted in the world, okay? Look, when you raise this much money, I almost feel like a lot of these big tech companies are trying to find a way to launder the copyright process. So instead of just blatantly grabbing things and using them illegally, or, you know, at least tenuously in an illegal sense, they have decided to just silently proxy company grab information off the internet, because I don't believe for a second that a company like Google, for instance, or Microsoft doesn't know where this information doesn't come from. I feel like a lot of these startups like Runway are getting these massive like series raised funding because at the end of the day, it's like, it's a lot better and palatable than if like Google directly did it or Nvidia directly did it. It's like, no, this is another company that we have like stakes in or investments, and they're the ones grabbing information off of. And even in this legal minefield of an industry, it almost feels like a sort of proxy step to avoid actual like liability. I think at the end of the day, the law should catch up, and a lot of these companies should really be forced to either pay for this training data or straight up be forced to shutter. It is disgusting that these companies can raise up this much money and not just steal like indiscriminately from like the smaller YouTuber, but also just straight up go out to Nintendo, to Netflix, and just effectively get away. I know Nintendo is a pretty litigious company to the point where they will shut down a starving child in the middle of Angola, Zaire for making a cardboard Game Boy. Why in the flying fuck have they not jumped down the throats of these assholes and told them to stop using their stuff to help enrich themselves in the way that they are? Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like if you dislike it, I am out.